Okay, everybody, first let's make sure this reading is meant for you. Pinch your fingers together like this, and we're going to ask, is there something in this reading I need to hear? Then keep them pinched and pull. If the answer is yes, they will stay together. If the answer is no, they will come apart. Okay? So we're asking today the question, why am I feeling depressed? Why am I feeling depression? We're going to do an Ogham reading today. Okay. Now we're going to just turn these over. Great. Okay, so what do we have here? We have Idad as your central Ogham view here, and that is basically telling us that one of the reasons that you're feeling depressed is that you are feeling a sense of something coming to an end. Okay, there's a way of life that you have lived for a long time, and something in you just knows that that is over. You can't live that way anymore. All right? This is in Kath. This is the area of conflict, and specifically, it's an internal area of conflict. So this is within you, a decision happening within you. So you are no stranger to change. This is Rush right here, and this is in your past, but it also straddles your future. So change is something that you have had a lot of experience with and will continue to into your future. You are a person who is in a major state of change. But you are also somebody who has a lot of insight into yourself. So this is Lus, this is a few that speaks of insights, and this is in the internal past. So you've done a lot of work on yourself. I'm thinking you are someone who actually does a lot of spiritual work on yourself. You are not somebody who takes things at face value. You are somebody that actually questions yourself and questions your trek through life. And so this is, again, all happening in an internal level. And what this is doing is it's putting you and keeping you for a while in a learning phase. And what you're learning is you are learning to use your will to develop yourself. So you're just feeling this need to continue pushing yourself forward and developing yourself. This is Gort. And part of that is coming, this is Fern, and this is basically an external pressure of other people's principles. So, I'm seeing this external pressure of other people's principles, and I'm seeing this need for you to develop yourself, this desire to develop yourself. And then we're seeing this actual internal desire to be learning more about using your intuition. And so I think what's happening here, this has kind of a hallmark of religious pressure to me. And if not religious pressure, spiritual pressure. There's sort of an expectation right now that you take on a bunch of viewpoints. And you are feeling that pressure, and you are someone who's prone to that anyways. You're someone who's always trying to develop, and so you are looking for paths that can help you develop. But sometimes this can get so rigid that it gets in the way of the actual flow, the actual part of you that just wants to move in a natural way through life using your intuition. And so you are kind of trying to learn all of this at the same time. And I think a lot of us find ourselves in this situation as spiritual seekers. But this is just kind of pressing into your area of internal conflict a little bit. Now here we have mun, and this is a conflict that has to do, this is in your area of conflict, and again, it's an external pressure. And this is an Ogham Few that deals with that ability to separate yourself from others. Looking at yourself and being able to understand, okay, these drives that I'm feeling, how much of this is actually me, and how much of this is just other people kind of pushing their ideas into me. I think you welcomed this for a phase of your life, but now it's creating some conflict. And I think part of the reason that that's creating conflict is because you are becoming more wise. You've actually been at this for a while. So this here is on. This is a few that has to do with wisdom, and what all of this kind of conflict and change and this feeling, this pressure of like, who am I? Okay, independent of these people who all mean well, what's actually important to me? You are actually developing wisdom from that, and that wisdom is causing more conflict, but it's actually driving you out of your conflict. You're actually getting on top of your problems. And as you do this, people are going to start just taking you at your word. You're not going to feel this same pressure from them anymore. Instead, they're going to take a much more objective approach to you. This is Alm, which is a Ogham Few that has to do with objectivity. All right, so some of that feeling of external pressure is going to neutralize, and you are going to actually find yourself in a place where you feel like you can overcome a lot of the difficulties that you were feeling before. All right, so again, all of this comes with this kind of sense of like, things are ending and I can't go on like this. I think the message of this reading is that all of this is pushing you exactly where you're trying to go. All right? You took all of this on so that you could actually imbibe the struggle of it, imbibe the conflict of it, so that you could grow and actually find yourself and overcome your weak spots. And that is what is happening. So I think while you are going to continue to struggle a little bit, I think you need to reframe that, because that is not a bad thing. You are not stuck. And this thing that is ending, that needs to end, it's all moving to new wisdom and new ways of being and new strengths. Okay, so that's my message for you today. You need to reframe your depression a little bit. You aren't stuck. You actually are growing, and you're in a growth phase, and it's actually all heading somewhere that is really good. A place of strength that is exactly what you approached those challenges for to begin with. All right, everybody, if you ever want a reading of your own, come find me at hiddenpathways.com, and otherwise I will see you in the next reading.